I am live on YouTube. I am live on Instagram. Well, hello, everybody. Hold on, I got my keen sign to turn on. So we're not officially live until I turn on the sign. And wah, 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 wah. Okay, welcome to Steel Town Sessions. Not a secret anymore. It's our first vodcast here at Element, 5 King Street East in Hamilton. I am so excited. A little bit frazzled. I had a few cups of coffee. I've been trying to get my equipment going. But let me tell you, what an exciting day it has been so far here at Element. Let me see. I got here just before 9 o'clock. There was a lineup of people all the way to the corner of King and James. And I was like, oh, wow. I thought I would come in. I'd flip a few switches. I'd meet my new producer. But sadly, my new producer couldn't make it. There was something else going on. And I'm by myself, but I got it going on. You would not know it to see. But there is a lot of activity around me right now. So hold on, I'm still gearing up. So let me make sure that I have everything that I need to properly do this today. Hold on. So I'm pretty excited. So please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, hold on. So as you can see, we are at, where are we at? Where is my plug? We've got some cool stuff going on. There's my plug on top. Okay, I feel that you probably can, you can probably hear me now. So, okay. So we are live, mic'd in on YouTube. We are live behind the scenes on Instagram. And I am at Element Cannabis Shop. It's an Element superstore, if you ask me. It is an amazing grand opening happening at 5 King Street East in Hamilton. My name is Cy Williams, and I am the brand new host of Steel Town Sessions. And it is a street-level studio dedicated to exploring culture in all of its forms, not just the cannabis sector. You know, Hamilton is, it has a place in my heart. For the last 10 years, I've always thought that Hamilton showed more cannabis culture on a bad day than most cities out there show on a good day. It is truly the heart of the cannabis sector in Ontario for sure, and I know other cities will fight you nationally, but Hamilton, oh, you have my heart, and it just makes me so happy to be launching this Steel Town Sessions podcast. We are going to be going live once a week to start on Saturdays. And today we have a few special guests who are going to come by and say hi, talk about all sorts of interesting things. And I will be, I'm trying to go live till at least 2 o'clock. I will be switching off at times for commercials, so I can insert commercials after the fact, because we're going to be putting this up on all of our video platforms, a little bit more edited up. These live shows, though, they are going to be mayhem, and I mean mayhem. I'm imagining a show that offers up intelligent conversation about things that are going on within our city here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, or even internationally in terms of culture. By culture, I mean music, art, community events, festivals, music festivals, dance, art, cannabis, you name it, we have it. And let me tell you, to be broadcasting live from this quite obvious cannabis tourism destination here in Hamilton the irony is not lost on me. You know, the Junos are literally a 2-minute walk from this street front studio. And I'm looking out at a beautiful city. You know, the sun hasn't really started shining yet, but it's going to today. I feel it. But listen, I just came on to tease you because we are actually going to start our official kickoff at 11 o'clock. Because I'm still testing equipment, and I have to say I've been tremendously enjoying my day. My day has been fueled by coffee from Tim Hortons, as well as a hearty breakfast. And I've also been, I've already sampled, and I am very, very fond of the High Boys brand that is here at the store. And I'm going to be talking about it all day long because this first episode of Steel Town Sessions is absolutely fueled by coffee and weed. Tim Hortons for my coffee, High Boys for my weed. Okay, so this was a tease. I will see you all back here in 30 minutes to start the very, very first episode of Steel Town Sessions here at Element. Okay, so we're having a grand opening. Just in case nobody knows about this, I'm sure you know. We are giving gift bags away to the first 100 people through the door. There's chances to win 2 sets of Cardi B tickets because she's here at the Coliseum. It is going to be a vibrant day here in Hamilton between our grand opening, between the Junos happening, and a friend of mine, a new friend of mine, he's opening a typewriter repair place today as well. This is his grand opening. And I expect there to be a run of people through all day long, some special guests, and I'm hoping we can get it going on. Anyways, I'll be back at 11. I'm gonna go finish my coffee. I'm gonna finish setting up my equipment. Much love, much respect for you guys who tuned in on time. I wasn't on time, but I will be back at 11 a.m. Okay, that's it for me right now. Stay lifted. Episode of Steel Town Sessions, and we are live. We are live at 5 King Street East in Hamilton, and I am so excited to be here. We have some guests popping in over the next little while. I'm super excited to be hosting Steel Town Sessions today at 5 King Street East in Hamilton. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm going to clip this on me, and I won't fuss with it anymore. And I'm here. Hi, one of my next guests is, oh, you can, but actually give me 1 second. And then when you're ready, come stick your head in, and I'll mic you up. Super excited to be here at the grand opening of the Element Okay, getting my mics ready for Rena. That's my first big guest. So, if you live in Hamilton and you don't know who Rena is, then you are not truly in the cannabis sector in Hamilton or, Ontario or Canada. Rena Rampersad, High Society Supper Club. One of our favorite people, and especially when it comes to the city of Hamilton, in my opinion, Rena's queen. She has been doing this as longer than I have. We have teamed up on so many cool things over the years, and I really felt we would be doing the Canadian and in particular the Hamilton cannabis space a disservice if I did not acknowledge and have Rena on our first show. Now, am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm actually totally right here, and I cannot wait to talk to Rena about all the amazing things she has going on. We're going to talk about the past, the present, and the future of the Canadian cannabis sector. Whoa, right? Now, normally you'd have to pay big money at one of these cannabis conferences to catch this kind of in-depth conversation. But today you are catching it here at Steeltown Sessions at Element at 5 King Street East. So I'm going to jump off Instagram Live. I'm going to jump off YouTube Live. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes because we're doing this old school today. Next week it'll be all continual segments because I'll have my producer mixing and splitting. But today we're going back to old school. So I'll be back in a few seconds or a few minutes with our very special guest. That's Rena from High Society Supper Club.
Maybe I'll put it this way.
And we are live on YouTube, High Media Inc.
Hey.
This is the very first episode, Steeltown Sessions, with me, your host, Cy Williams. I am delighted to welcome our very, very first guest on Steeltown Sessions, and the Rena represent High Society Supper Club, the queen of cannabis in Hamilton.
Oh, that's
you know
quite a
what?
title.
I'm gonna put it out there because I had a team meeting about guests a couple weeks ago, and they were like, my team was like, Cy, if you do not invite Rena on your show, you will be doing her a disservice. You will be doing the entire Canadian Hamilton cannabis sector a disservice. It is and has been my firm belief that Hamilton is the true heart of cannabis culture in Ontario, and it is on par with some of the bigger cities like Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, Edmonton. There is nothing like Steeltown. And it is hard fought here, and it is a city of layers when it comes to culture, when it comes to cannabis, when it comes to music, the arts. There is no other place. So, Rena, I'm just really happy that you were able to be my first guest.
Thank you
can tell
much.
I'm kind of fanboying a little.
That's such an honor.
How great it is for you and I to be here to talk about, Rena and I have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll borrow this.
A long time together. And we've been in different roads, and we have been on the same roads a few times.
Yeah.
We've thrown parties for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in downtown Toronto during the Project Claudia days together. Rena has fought harder than most people. You know what I like about you? You know what I like about you, Rena? Is you don't give up.
You can't.
So many people, I've watched my friends and allies fall to the side, but you're still at this.
Yeah.
So tell me, like what drives you? What keeps you in the game?
Yeah, I live that life. I mean, I come from, a few generations in of cannabis professionals. Long before there was an industry, my grandmother was growing and selling. And I have a great uncle who used to sell on a bike. He used to ride around the neighborhood with a cardboard box and a garbage bag. People would pull out a piece of newspaper, and literally he just put a handful in, and they give him whatever they have, literally. There was no measuring or anything. It was such a vital part of life. So, for me, it's important because it's a lifestyle thing. Yeah.
It really is. And seeing how hard that people like you and I have had to fight to break stigma, to be accepted as legitimate business people. And, I don't know about you, but on my side of
I can imagine you fight a lot.
I've been fighting a lot, and the federal rollout was not kind to people like us.
Yeah.
I saw a lot
basically excluded everything that you do.
It excluded everything. Mostly everything I do had to be very creative. And you yourself, as somebody who's put on some amazing events, who's been in the center of so many things happening within cannabis culture, have you what are some of the major challenges that you've had to overcome and get past to even be here today with us at Steeltown Sessions?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons that cannabis really took a hold in Hamilton is because Hamilton really is a blue-collar town. In Trinidad and in a lot of places in the Caribbean, ganja is nicknamed poor people's medicine. And it is. It's how so many people heal themselves and have healed themselves for centuries. In India, it's used during childbirth. This is how they treat labor pains and all of that. So, with that being said, it's something that, for those of us who have been in it a long time, many of us come from not as many resources as this new industry has. The new industry, really rolled out with a lot of bells and whistles. And, where many of us thought that the knowledge, expertise, experience might be recognized, honored, and appreciated a little bit more, we see that that's not necessarily the case. So it's been really tough, to continue doing what I'm doing when, the industry but a lot of the aspects that I think helped to make it not just accessible but inclusive for people, I think are really disappearing.
Okay.
So it's changing, and so you have to create your own spaces. And I think this is also why the legacy realm still really is extremely active. The legal regime doesn't really cater to, for instance, medical patients.
It's
right?
true.
And then, like I mentioned, in terms of it being a lifestyle thing, it is marketed very differently, which is fine. But a lot of us, who are here long before still exist and don't necessarily fit into that framework, which can be tough.
Can be very,
yeah,
very
I can
tough.
only imagine for you. I mean, someone in media, I can barely do a post without it being flagged or, taken down. The content that you are essentially talking about is, everything that they want you to censor. So
everything.
I can only imagine
and it has been for me. It was very difficult to hear these promises that they made and said, okay, there's a place for you and you and you and you in this new world. And turns out there really wasn't, because
there wasn't.
how many media makers are still around? How many people like yourself are still pulling off events and gathering community and building culture?
Yeah.
For a long time, I was like, I felt that High Canada was, excuse my expression, pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
Because we would try every month to tell these amazing stories and elevate these amazing people.
And they were amazing stories.
So many amazing people. But the lack of support and I felt that with the marketing restrictions basically starved out a lot of the creatives.
Yeah.
People need to eat.
Yeah.
People need to get paid.
Yeah.
And there's such a hesitancy with legal companies to market in conventional ways because they're afraid of getting their hands slapped or whatever. And we're like, people like you and I and other creatives and media makers, a lot of them do center around Hamilton and Vancouver, but there are not nearly as many of us anymore, and it's become a very different battle.
Yeah.
Case in point, Global Marijuana March.
Yes, yeah.
Used to be, there were
huge.
So many people, stages, just
lots of vendors,
shenanigans, a whole day of celebrating the plant, celebrating the people behind the plant. And then started after legalization, people forgot that, we got to legalize. We don't have to fight anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forgot that there's still a fight.
Yep, a big one.
A big one. And that we're constantly working on breaking stigma, normalizing it. But what I'd like to focus on is retaking back our culture.
Yeah.
I feel like we were lied to.
Yeah.
They came in with a restrictive regime. They took our knowledge. They took all of the IP from Legacy, especially when it came to like extractions and high end
everything.
And then those people were just cast aside. After their knowledge had been sucked out, we had an occupation of our culture, not just our sector, but our entire culture. And now looking here, we're just over 8 years in, and there's so few of us left because most of us
Yeah.
were driven out in either frustration or rage because they couldn't make their dreams work. And we're talking people like you and I,
Right.
mom and pops, like independents who are trying to find their place
Oh, yeah.
in the cannabis sector. Now, my favorite thing, I'll tell you my favorite thing about the cannabis sector, and I'd love to hear your favorite thing. For me, it's job creation and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I have seen so many people chase their dreams.
Yeah.
A lot of them have failed.
Yeah.
But I've never seen so many people chase their dreams.
And be encouraged to, and yes.
And I've always thought
pretty cool.
that's my
Very
favorite.
inspiring.
That's my favorite part of our sector because it shows me that there's hope.
Yeah.
You know, and there aren't as many people. That's why being here today at Element, the 5 King Street East, our Element's grand opening, is so important to me because, you know, Wallace he is an entrepreneur. He's an independent.
And he comes from legacy, which is awesome.
Right.
I love when you see that, you know, the folks who are in the industry now have those kinds of ties and deep roots because they have a different understanding and they come from a different perspective. And you'll see that what they offer is different than what's out there on the market because again, it's coming from experience. It's not just, you know, someone slapped in a corporate role or what have you.
Oh, and I see so much of that corporate bulldozing
like you
happening.
Said, the culture has pretty much disappeared because it's become about the bottom line. And that's fine because it's a business, but at the same time, it's the culture that built the industry. And, you know, I say this all the time. Literally everything that happens in the new industry, everything that happens in legalization is a copycat of something that's happened in legacy at some point in time. I haven't seen anything yet that's been original. Like all of the events literally are, you know, rebranded, you know, maybe with more higher budgets. So, you know, they have all the bells and whistles and freebies and stuff. So, you know, they blow our former events out of the water in that sense. But it doesn't have the heart.
It doesn't have the heart.
Yeah, it's missing.
Would you say that culture is your favorite part of the cannabis sector and space in Canada?
Because for me, that extends far beyond, you know, any definitions, any regulations, any industry,
any location. It goes
anything.
Coast to coast, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a hard thing, and if you really understand the plant and you understand the connection of yourself with the plant, I mean, that's something that can't be broken, and that's really what drives so many of us. That's what's driven us for so long. And that's why so many of us haven't given up, because we understand it's way deeper than a lot of folks are giving it credit for being. I mean, we have an endocannabinoid system in our body. We've been lied to for our entire lives. We learned about the reproductive system. We learned about the endocrine system. We learned about, the regulatory, like there are so many other systems in our bodies. The endocrine system is the regulatory system that helps all of the systems work properly. How do we not know about that? And it's not just cannabis that the endocannabinoid system connects with. It's all terpenes. So all foods, all things that we essentially consume activates our endocannabinoid system. But for some reason, we didn't learn about it because it was associated with what?
Although you are one of the biggest stigma breakers when it comes to cannabis and food.
I tried.
My very first experience with Rena was
at Hot Box?
It was at Hot Box,
cool,
and it was all revolving around
Big up
infused food. Big up Abby. And let me tell you, really opened my eyes. I also saw you do this cooking demo at Weedstock.
Oh yeah,
do you remember that?
Yeah.
Teaching
we had
people,
the education
yes,
center. That was
up
so cool.
there on the big
education
stage.
station. That was awesome.
Yeah, there have been some amazing events, and I hear you when you say how much of our sector has been copied from legacy.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of trying this.
Yeah.
I want to take something from them.
Why not?
This is a classic Q107 at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yep.
CBC, street level broadcast.
So maybe you didn't do this exactly, but you've done other forms of this in the past.
I
so
have.
You can't say that you're
but
I've seen you do all
busy.
Yeah, no one's doing this.
I'm usually in the back room or on a farm somewhere, and I'm
Nobody's doing this. This is cool.
Or I do cannabis trade shows, which is fun. But I want to do something a little different with this, and try to show how far we've come. Now
and when we talk about culture, like you said, it stems so far beyond the plant, right? Because it's connected to everything. It's connected to music. It's connected to art. It's connected to food. It's connected to wellness. It's just
and all
so
of
vast.
the emotions as well, and all of the experiences, which makes me so happy to see groups like the CCTA and the Cannabis Tourism Alliance out in BC really celebrating cannabis tourism. And it's a smart way to reframe it. And I could see how that conversation went down in Ottawa too. So they're seeing how much revenue cannabis has generated for the country of Canada.
$70 billion to date since legalization. That is no small piece. Like 70 billion.
I would like to know what they're doing with
2026 alone, 13 billion. And we're only in March.
Wow. So, we make an impact.
Yeah.
And we make a big impact. And it's heartening for me to see places like the Ministry of Tourism really hearing us and getting involved actively.
Yeah.
And I think that, and like I said, Hamilton is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, the heart of cannabis culture in Ontario.
I would agree, yeah.
I've been to Toronto events, and they are always so corporate, and they become so dry. Like, I remember the Lift Expos when we were excited, and it was a new future.
So dry,
And I've always been about breaking unjust laws, and there were a lot of us then who were fighting for, that we've lost along the way too.
Yes, lots of people recently.
So many. That's the hard part of being media, is because you make friends with people along the way, and then losing Elias Theodorou broke my heart. I had interviewed him a few weeks before. Frenchie Cannoli, another one. I miss him dearly.
Like maybe a year before he passed away.
Anthony Rumble, also we had him in the magazine, and he's sort of R.I.P. So some amazing people, and it gets hard losing people too, and even like the community activists and the community advocates out there. I see them, and they fight so hard, and I wish that they would have been happier with the result, or we would be happier with the result. But I know that we're still out there and we're still fighting.
Yep.
So
it's there have been some small changes and some improvements for sure, but we're still very far from where we need to be. Like, for instance, inclusivity. There are a few companies that are finally starting to take that a little bit more seriously, and that's okay. They're adapting policies that. Can I just go back?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that. I just didn't want you to miss her.
So they're adapting policies that supposedly, reflect more equitable, I guess, outlooks.
Good.
But it's.
But is it too little, too late, or?
Yeah, kind of. I would say kind of, because it's you talked about people. For lack of a better way, it's still a drop in the bucket
for most people to get into the game.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about the job creation.
It's exclusive, but that was done on purpose.
Oh,
right?
so much so.
I mean, that's a good way to keep your smaller competitors out who actually know better than you and have more knowledge and can probably kick your ass.
To an occupation by another country. They slid in, they occupied, they took our information, they took our best minds, they drained them dry, and then they
toss them out
like yesterday's trash.
Yeah.
Now, to our friends in the United States of America, who are going through your own green rush right now, you should learn from Canada. We've had quite the ride over the last 8+ years.
They're trying to figure it out too. Like my friends in New York, they've done a great thing. Niagara, big up Niagara, SUNY Niagara out there. That's the growing college, the accredited growing college. So my friends run this, and they will be at Canacrawl. They're coming to Canacrawl.
Okay. Speaking of, so let's talk about. You have been involved with Canacrawl as long as I can remember.
Yeah, almost 10 years, believe it or not.
Canacrawl. If you do not know, if you have been under a rock or in the woods or fishing or hiking or out there somewhere, maybe you've been backpacking in Europe, Canacrawl is the must-attend cannabis cannabis, I guess, a cannabis tourism event that happens in Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a sovereign pop-up event, and it has literally everything that you could think of: cannabis, art, food, music. We've got seminars and workshops, lots of educational things going on, and of course, plenty of flower, plenty of flower. But the one thing that I, keep talking about that's missing from this new legal regime is the love and the culture, the genuine love and passion for the plant and the culture that exists behind it. That is what fueled legalization to begin with. These are the people. These are the folks who were not included in legalization. These are, a lot of brands that have been around for a long time. Some of them are just mom and pop farmers who just, want you to try their goodies.
That being said, I've seen a lot of popular people and brands and things come out of Canacrawl over the years.
Yes, yeah.
Like
it's a launch pad for a lot of people.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of that. It's a networking hub. It's a launch pad. A lot of people, mind you, people will go and they'll organize big events, and they don't even invite myself or the other, organizers. Even though I know, they met all of the people there. That's fine. But yes, a lot of companies have certainly, got their starts. And as I mentioned, it's kind of a launch pad because there are a lot of people and resources that you can access in one place at one time to really elevate your business if this is something that you're just starting out in.
Okay.
So it's also, like I said, it's a bit of a business hub.
So when is the, for our viewers at home, when's the next Canacrawl, Rena?
4/18. It's just over 3 weeks from now. Yeah, the Big 420 is Saturday, 4/18. You can look up canacrawl.ca and you'll get the address and details. We hope to see you there. Like I said, lots of fun, education, culture, love, lots of freebies, tons of freebies.
So we will be broadcasting live on the 18th for Canacrawl.
Awesome.
I've only attended. I've never been part of the whole Canacrawl experience, but I've got the behind the scenes are being, so I can't wait to support Canacrawl this year.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we still have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Let's talk about what we'd like to see in the future. What do you think the future is going to be like for us? Look at us today.
Well,
we have the Junos there.
Yeah.
We've got this wonderful stage center.
I think that regulations are easing up, which allows us to be a little bit more multi-dimensional in terms of who we liaise and work with. As you mentioned, it doesn't have to just be cannabis because cannabis is a lifestyle. It spans, in my opinion, every industry. So, can you show how that connects to every industry? Or are you stuck on one narrative? It's so broad for me. I am opening a co-working retail and a small event space, and there's no sale of cannabis anywhere around, but it's there to help amplify and support, some of the newer brands that are coming up that are aligned with, or even ancillary brands that are in the industry. So there's
so many of those too.
There's so much room for growth. There's so much room for everything. So again, with the lessening of the stricter regulations, we're able to branch out a little bit more, do a little bit more, and I see it becoming a little bit more a part of mainstream life as opposed to strictly the 420 community and culture that we, have helped to curate and preserve.
Not just us. There's others as well. We've helped.
But it's definitely changing. It's really interesting. I go to a ton of cannabis events, and I can't tell you how many people come there, have an amazing time, engage, participate, and then you find out at the end they don't even smoke. They don't even smoke, but they're so interested in.
You know what I've noticed too with my government consultation, that they're really into cannabis beverages.
Yes.
The Smoke-Free Ontario, Smoke-Free Canada bill, it prevents. They don't really look favorably towards the.
It makes
the
it a little
smokers.
sticky.
Yeah, it does.
Makes it a little sticky.
A little
for people.
stickier, but I see beverages taking a hold in a big way.
Yeah.
And I really see that's the way they're going to get into. Wouldn't it be great to go to your favorite concert? Right next to the person selling your cheap beer, is there somebody selling a cannabis beverage?
Yeah. Trends actually indicate that beverages are the next big thing, and yes, so that makes sense. To focus on that. They're easy. They're discreet.
They taste delicious
They
for the
are,
most part.
yeah, they're convenient, and the microdosing that they are, essentially doing with the regulated stuff doesn't make it overwhelming for you to have as a social drink when you're out.
Okay,
With
it's true.
the 2 milligrams or 5 milligrams or 10, like most of us have a
Yeah.
high tolerance, but that's something we can have.
And it's also, I know for myself, 3 beer, and that's my limit. I also know 3 cannabis drinks, and that's my limit.
Okay, you know
right?
your
I
limit.
know, and
Yeah.
I used the 3 drink limit,
Yeah.
but it took me experimenting with cannabis
Yeah.
drinks to go. The first one, it was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is fun.
It's funny, this keeps turning.
It's
okay.
probably got a little life of its
Yeah,
own.
it's good.
Okay, so you see a loosening of regulations and it becoming more ingrained with like everyday society?
A little bit, yeah. If you notice, certain things that used to be flagged right away on Instagram, for instance, they're a little bit looser with things. You still can't use any of the words, but you can go around it, and if you can learn how to finesse it.
I tell you, I know that you know how to finesse. I know how to finesse.
We have to. It's survival.
Facebook still hates me.
Yeah.
And YouTube, if I even showed the inside of the store for a moment, they would take my video down.
Yeah.
But I have to be creative. TikTok, as long as you don't say it.
Yeah.
And if you spell it, weed? How did they spell weed on YouTube? Oh, sorry, on TikTok.
Was
It's
it
with an O.
was it with an O, not a number 3?
No.
I see people do it with a
with
number 3.
So you have to. Our point though, you have to be creative. Sabrina, what's your favorite thing to listen to right now, music-wise, when you're consuming or shutting down after a long day?
Well, for me, hands down, it's always reggae. To me, reggae and cannabis are synonymous and one of each other. They go together. So really anything. Most of my preferences are along like the Rasta community, so like Protege and folks like that. But really anything reggae. I love reggae. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the vibe, the energy that comes out of it to me really matches the energy of cannabis.
So I know you are a stupendous chef. Where, besides yourself, where was the last place you ate in Hamilton that you enjoyed from the perspective of someone who loves food?
Oh,
Like,
that's an excellent question. Where was I last? Oh, you know what? I'm going to big up my girlfriend who has an awesome roti shop because I love my cultural food.
I love roti.
Trini Jam Can. And they have great roti over there. They have roti right up here too, actually, famous recipes. So if you want a fresh one,
famous recipes, I'll be checking that out
here
for lunch.
as well. But so Trini Jam Cam and anyone else, I don't know, just like really cool, innovative stuff. Pizza.
Okay. Yeah, here Hamilton has some of the best pizza in the world.
Look out for a 420 pizza tour. We're working on one.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the last event that you did not organize that you went to and you went, I'm having a good time?
Oh my gosh, SUNY Niagara, hands down.
Yeah.
So another cannabis conference. You've been to a gazillion cannabis conferences.
I certainly have.
On this side of the border, across the border. This is in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And let me tell you, because the conference is funded via a grant, they are not reliant on sales. So the content is entirely unique. It is uncensored, it's different, it's innovative, it's stuff that people who care about the plant care to hear about. It's incredible. Just big up Melissa Moore and Caroline out there. They are doing a phenomenal job. You should come and check it out sometime.
I would love to.
It's worthy of a story.
I would love to.
They have a cannabis cooking college. Oh my God.
Oh, really?
They have a culinary school, a cannabis culinary school. So, and he does an amazing job. Nate, big up Nate. So I did demos as part of the conference.
Oh, wow.
There as well, but just like, they are really doing something cutting edge and innovative. They have a mentoring program, an apprenticeship program where they place people in actual LP settings and provide them with actual viable, opportunities for real employment in the sector. So I think it's amazing. Like, I can't say enough about their events and programs.
Okay, well, I'm going to check out all the food places you mentioned. I'm going to ask you to write them down for me.
Thank you.
Rena, if people wanted to find out more about you, your business, any of your events, or anything that you've got going on from High Society Supper Club to Canna Crawl to anything, or your new event space, how would they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Instagram at High Society Supper Club. You can also find us on Canna Crawl at www.cannacrawl.ca. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you Google me, I'm sure like stuff will come up where you can find me somehow. But yeah, connect.
You know, I just go Rena Cannabis, and then you get reams and reams and reams of pages.
That's so funny.
You are my favorite queen.
That's so
thank
sweet.
you so much for joining me.
And thank you for coming back on this side of town when things are starting to spring up and happen again.
I love Hamilton, and when given this opportunity by Wallace and the good people at Element, I could not say no.
Yeah.
And I know that Hamilton is the true beating heart of our cannabis culture in Ontario. BC, maybe we'll do a head-to-head challenge, but out here it's Hamilton, Steeltown all the way. And so once again, you're joining me, Cy Williams, my very, very special guest, Rena from High Society Supper Club. You're watching Steeltown Sessions, and we're filming live at Element. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back before you know it.
Thank you. One love, everyone.
One love.
Thank you. That was awesome. Oopsie.
We got more stops. This one's heavy. Almost there. Push it up.
Back! YouTube Live. I'm welcome. I'd like you to welcome very good friend of mine. Just met him, but I think we're going to be buddies for the rest of our lives. This is Devin from Cross Borders and Legacy.
Cross Border and Legacy Exotics.
Legacy Exotics. So give me 1 second, YouTube Live. I'm just going to reach over here and initiate an Instagram live feed right. 3, 2, 1.
Now we're going.
And we are back.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, so we are back at 5 King Street East in downtown Hamilton. The Junos are going on right next door. It's a vibrant Saturday afternoon in Hamilton. The sun isn't quite shining, but the people are out, and we are celebrating the grand opening of the Element Cannabis Store. I would call this a superstore. Definitely a cannabis tourism destination. Devin, tell me what brings you here today. What do you do in the cannabis sector?
So I got into the cannabis sector growing cannabis and opening up a hydroponic shop in 2018.
Wow, okay.
Trying to, when everything became legalized and we could all grow our 4 plants, we decided to open up a store where we could teach consumers how to actually grow those 4 plants on their own, set them up with a small tent build with lights and stuff like that.
Oh, right back to basics. I like that, okay.
From there, I actually went and got an ACMPR license and started learning a lot more about growing cannabis and making hash and producing extracts.
Okay.
And then I got into the hash game, and I haven't left in quite a while now. I've been making bubble hash for about 7 years consistently, and then rosin for about 4.
I do. I love hash so very, very much. Okay, so today you're here with 2 brands in particular.
Yeah.
And what are the brands that you're bringing to the table today?
Oh, so we have Cross Border Concentrates. This is the first brand. That's the drink that we have, the cherry limeade.
Cross Border Concentrates. You know, I think I might have been in on a sampling of this before it hit the market. A taste test with
back in August.
Right. No, it was early July.
Okay,
and it was the little samples.
The silver cans?
That's right.
Yeah.
So Cross Border, this is cherry limeade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also, with Cross Border, we as well have our hash rosin and our temple ball.
Oh, look at this. Oh. Wow. I can't open these, but I love temple balls. And I've got a few on the go, rolling them, and I always roll them in my palms, and I like that nice oxidation.
Yeah.
Hash has always been the real bread and butter of the Canadian cannabis sector. And, oh look, there's some, wave at our lovely officers. Hi guys, you guys should come in. Okay, so this is cross-border concentrates.
Yeah.
So, what kind of feedback are you getting from these?
People seem to love it. They both products inside here are both slurricane strain. So they're both derived from Dosey-Dose and Purple Punch.
Okay, those are stuff, eh?
Yeah. The reason why we call it cross-border concentrates, I wanted to tell you a little bit about that, is we actually have brands launched in Australia and Germany. So Canada is our cross-border concentrates in Canada, but we have a brand in Germany as well under the same name, and we have other brands in Australia under the same name.
Oh, Australia, New Zealand, Iceland, that's the new frontier.
Yeah.
The green rush is really hitting those places. I had a call this weekend, weekend past, about Scotland really starting to get into the game as well.
Yeah.
It really makes me happy to see the impact that Canada's mature market has had on the rest of the world. And it makes me really happy to know that friends of mine are sending quality material and quality product out representing Canada.
Yeah.
It's my belief that Canada creates some of the best concentrates and grows some of the best flower in the world. And we have been at this for a long time. We've been at it legally for 8 years plus.
Yeah.
And we're really starting to produce some amazing stuff. So what else did you bring? I said there's one more.
There's Legacy Exotics. So this is another brand that we have created under our umbrella.
Okay.
This brand is geared more towards like a mocktail line.
This is the one I sampled. I saw the name. It was an old fashioned when I tried it.
Yeah.
And the name now is the rolled fashioned.
Yes. Yeah. So it tastes almost exactly like that old fashioned whiskey drink that you would find in a bar.
Right.
Except there's no whiskey in it. You can add it yourself. It tastes great.
Oh man, I can tell you that before I crashed the Junos today with my deep culture partner, 86, I will definitely be trying a rolled fashioned.
Yeah.
And that's by Legacy. Available in Ontario or any other provinces?
Everything is available in Ontario right now. We're working on getting it launched in BC, and we're also working on getting it launched in a couple other provinces.
Okay, and what about other countries you can expect to start seeing the cross-border products at?
So you will see cross-border in the United States, hopefully by next year.
Okay.
And then Germany and Australia, it's constantly there. So you can see it. You can find us in Germany and Australia at any time, basically.
Okay, so to our Australian and German viewers, make sure you go look for this exciting product. It's got to be out there on shelves.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more about either one of these two exciting brands?
You can find us on our website at crossborderconcentrates.com. You can also find us at our Instagram, CB_concentrates.
CB_concentrates.
Yeah.
And
you can find me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn.
How will they find you, Devin?
Devin Paquin is my name.
Devin Paquin. Okay,
Yeah.
you can find him. We're gonna bring this man's number of followers and take it to the moon, there, folks. And I'm guessing that if you are in the neighborhood and you're close by to Element, that these products are available here as well.
Yes, all 4 will be available here next week.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
So all these people who lined up today, come line up next weekend too, because there are going to be some exciting new things to try at the Element Cannabis Superstore here at 5 King Street East. This is Steeltown Sessions. I'm your host, Cy Williams. This is Devin. I'm going to bring our next guest on. Devin, thank you so much.
For sure. Thanks for having me, Cy.
No problem. There is an astrologist right around behind. Can you pass this to her?
Of course.
And send her on in. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting end of the show for you. We're about 40 from this grand
Thank you.
here at Element, that's 155 DC East in Hamilton. I'm so excited to have the Wandering Star herself, my favorite astrological guru, Vanessa. Thank you for joining me on the first episode.
Oh, my pleasure.
Steel Town Sessions.
Thank you so much for having me, Sai.
Oh, it is a real pleasure. That is, you may want to put it
Just up here.
little bit.
We are.
So, we are live on YouTube. We are streaming live to Instagram. I thought, since you're going to be coming on the show every once in a while, as often as you'd like, I thought maybe you could tell me a little bit about, tell our viewers a little bit more about what you do, and then maybe we could have some star fun.
Absolutely.
For a couple of minutes. So Vanessa, tell me a little bit more about what you do.
Okay, well, I am a certified professional astrologer, and I've been obsessed with the stars and planets since I was a little girl. So it's always been there in my DNA. And the more, I also have a background in psychology, and I'm a licensed or certified ICF coach. And I love bringing everything together because I love the pieces of the puzzle of who we are as human beings, and learn. It's a great way, without navel gazing, but to learn about yourself. And I know that looking at my own chart in the past has just opened up, you know, parts of myself, and that's what kind of this thing that makes me tick. So I really love to sit down with people, and especially, you know, if you're going through something, and just kind of work through the pieces of that puzzle and unfold your story, and just
now, one of the things Vanessa gave me did my star chart for me for my birthday last year, and let me tell you, the insight and the bits of information that I gleaned from that helped me in a time that I needed some direction. And that was one of the reasons I invited you on the show, is I thought you were so well spoken and insightful with your astrological direction that you were giving me, and then backing it up with such a complex chart just blew my mind. And I found a lot of solace and direction from the guidance that I was able to receive there. So thank you.
Oh, of course, you're welcome, and I love hearing that, because that's my goal when I share charts with people and go over that. And
so is it? What do you need to do someone's chart? How does that work?
Yeah, well, I just I need your full date of birth, and also the place of birth, and preferably time. Although I understand not everybody has access to their birth certificate, or their parents didn't tell them their time, and that's okay. You know, we can do a workaround. It might not. There's some things that might not be as specific, but we can get a lot of information from that.
Okay.
And, but that's it, because that's what I need to pull your chart, and your chart is more or less, it's a snapshot of the moment that you entered the earthly plane.
All of this.
All of this. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So there have been some exciting things happening.
Yes.
In the astrological world, and our star world, in our spiritual divine world, and I know that we just came out of a Mercury retrograde, and that we're going to be in a shadow of a little weirdness for a little while. But do you want to talk about where we've just come out of, and maybe where we're heading into?
Absolutely. So we just had Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and that was just, Pisces, of course, is a very intuitive sign. Mercury is the planet that rules how we think and our gadgets and how we communicate and travel. So that's why a lot of those things kind of go haywire when it's in retrograde. When Mercury takes stations retrograde, it spends 3 or 4 weeks taking a pause. It's like the timeout box where we reflect, we review, we re-strategize. It's kind of like, whoa, stop going so fast, slow down, and just let's review what we're doing, and if this makes sense. So
it does. It does. And what are we kind of heading into? What do we got to look forward to? Is this going to be a beautiful summer of love? Tell me it's going to be a beautiful summer of love.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of fire and air, I mean, it can always be a summer of love, right, Sai? But well, what we're coming out of, because that Pisces was wrapping things up with eclipse season 2, which was Pisces and Virgo energy.
That's right. We had an eclipse.
And so we're just closing the door on a big chapter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of a very busy shop. So I have to humbly apologize for any background noise you may be picking up. We are at the opening, grand opening of a big store, and I'm hoping that there aren't too many sound issues during this broadcast. But I'm sorry about that. Vanessa.
No, that's
I just
okay.
don't want you to get overshadowed by the sounds of delight and glee coming from behind us.
All good. There's cake out there, so it's like people are excited. but where we're coming from is we've just been doing all this healing collectively, individually, and a lot of it's been relationship oriented too, and just finally figuring some things out and closing a cycle. Now we're moving into, after 200 years of all the outer planets primarily being in Earth and water, and that's a very heavy in the sense it's very in the body, very material, of the Earth, and slow, methodical. And now we're going into fire and air, which is innovation, creativity. The mind and the intellect is the new currency, and we have Saturn and Neptune, of course, in Aries. Uranus is about to go into Gemini at the end of April. Time out.
Uranus, I like that.
Yeah.
You like that? Uranus. Ooh.
Yeah.
Way better than most previous
Uranus.
before. Don't, YouTube, don't take down my video. Uranus. I like it. From now on, it's Uranus.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh, please, no. So Uranus and Gemini, and that's energy of the mind. The mind is the new currency. And Pluto's in Aquarius, which is also very cerebral, very, and very advanced. That's the future. And so these two planets are going to start speaking to each other and making these trines to one another, which is positive, and exchange of energy between now and 2028.
Oh, wow.
And so when you think about what that's doing, the last time those two spoke to each other in this way, we saw the 1960s and 70s countercultural revolution.
Oh,
which is
right
really
up
cool.
my this is great. We're on the verge of the cusp of something amazing.
We are. And so that's the thing. I know people are afraid of AI, but you've got to look at, there's going to be so much opportunity, and it's all, everything is nature, nurture, and what we choose to do with this energy. And I love Pam Gregory's an astrologer who said, focus on what you want to focus on. Do you want to speak to elementals? Do you want to develop telepathy? Do you want to invent something crazy and space travel, and anything's going to be possible, because the last time Uranus was in this sign of Gemini was the 40s, and we saw submarines and radio waves, and we had the air travel started for the first time, where people took planes for vacations.
I'm getting tingles.
Yeah.
Like, things sound like they're going to be very exciting.
Yes.
I remember hearing my dad say he had this curse he liked to use, and it was, may you live in interesting times.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be an exciting time to even just to be alive.
I think so too. And I really do see, there's so much energy pushing us toward do it yourself and being communal and being innovative. And I really think, yes, I see a lot of potential, even though it's hard to feel like that sometimes right now, but just be patient. We're just in the birth canal, and it's messy, but but something comes out on the other side,
Well, Vanessa, I hope that you can come back and join me frequently,
I would love
so
to.
we can talk a little bit about your wandering star. If people wanted to find you,
Yes.
How would they get a hold of you?
Instagram, Wandering Stars Astrology, and I also, you can email me at wanderingstars.astrology@gmail.com if you'd like to explore a reading.
I brought a prop for us to use on our
I love it.
If you decide to come back and join us, which viewers, I am meant to say, put down in the comments that absolutely you want Wandering Star Vanessa to come back and join us. We have props, we can talk stars,
Yes.
we can talk the future, past and present,
Absolutely.
and how this all applies to us living here and then now and now and here.
Yeah.
We're here now, here and now.
Here now. And there somewhere else.
And there. Yeah, sometimes I'm there.
Me too.
Anyway, thank you very much,
Thank
Vanessa.
you, Sai.
Vanessa, if you would kindly pass over your mic
Yes.
to the next guest.
You got
Send
it.
her on in.
Everybody.
Thank you, Vanessa, the
Mwah.
star astrologist, here to join me as often as I can get her on.
Oh, I am having
difficulties. I didn't want either. She is a rebel leader. She is without doubt the funniest person I have ever met in my life. So without further ado, this is Katie Six.
Hello, I brought you a gun.
Oh, you brought, thank you very much. Katie, I was just telling our audience about how we came up with the Deep Culture magazine concept. And
How did we do that? Like, what was your take on that?
well, we met a few years ago, and we got into a conversation about how important, like my banana, about how important culture was. And I said to you, you know, I'm dreaming of something different. That's not just the cannabis space, something that encompasses culture overall.
Yeah.
And I remember your face lighting up like a candle, going, "Oh, culture!"
Well, so for me, like, and I'm sure a lot of people, party people with really complicated, with complicated lives and, you know, unique past experiences, like it's hard to put them together into like some sort of meaning, like what happened there, right? Like the really strange and fascinating families that I've met, like the Francoeur family that we're, what's the word, featuring
Yes.
in the first issue, but how you sort of saw that they were all uniquely Canadian, you know, lived experiences that I never really thought about it like that. Like, oh, like these things do make sense in the fact that we do have a culture, and we're sold that we don't have a culture, and we absolutely do. And it's not necessarily what you see on the media. I mean, it is, but it's so much more.
So much
And we're going to
more.
get into the nitty-gritty of it all.
Oh yeah, and through our discussions, Katie and I have really we've highlighted a lot of things within Canadian culture that we want to explore, elevate, and yes, we are positioning our first live podcast from a cannabis location, but we are not about cannabis. We're not about music. We're not about the arts. We're about all of it, and encompassing it into one massive pile of culture.
Yeah. And it's going to be very interactive. Like, we want to hear from our audiences. We're going to have, you know, write-ins. We want to hear also because, like we don't decide what it is to be Canadian. Like, there's all sorts of hidden little stories and things that have just made us look like we're not visible, but we're so visible, right? And
one of the big things that bothered me was how I heard someone on the news say, "Oh, Canada has no culture," and I was so offended because I see culture in my travels. I see it in all the cities I visit. I know you see it in people and in music, especially music, and all its very shapes and forms.
yeah.
I think tonight is going to be a good example of how Katie and I can explore culture, because we are planning on doing something special for Deep Culture magazine. We are going to crash the
Junos.
That's right. So, I put in our media accreditation about 6 weeks ago, and sadly, never heard back from the good people at the Junos. But do you think that's going to stop people like us, these culture, well, I'm not calling us culture vultures, so these celebrators of culture in Canada? Are we going to let this opportunity slide? No.
Let the Canadian groupies shine.
That's right.
Through pseudo-criminal activity.
Pseudo-criminal activity. There is a giant chance that we're going to get ejected at the door. There's also a giant chance that they're going to say, "Welcome." Stick us next to CBC.
Well, the after parties are so much more important than the actual awards. Like, self-congratulating, you know, not to downplay, it can be a little douchey, but
award shows, and as a rule, can be a little douchey. What I do like about the Junos is it is quintessentially Canadian. It's not
exactly.
It's not the Grammys.
So much of the beam of like light focuses on those who are bought out by industry and the USA, right? And so the Junos does give us that chance to actually find people who didn't, you know, get famous for the wrong reasons, right? It's because they have talent, and
I know
different.
a lot of my friends and people I know have a Juno story. I have a Juno story. Can I tell you? Okay. So when I was in high school, I went to Runnymede Collegiate in Toronto, and I was in an art class, and my art teacher was this man named Mr. Tuvik. And he was like always telling me I was too messy to become an artist. And I was like, I guess I'm still going to try.
It's always those ones that make it, eh?
But there was a girl in my class, and we had designed a logo for the Junos contest back in the 80s.
Right.
And this girl won the award. She won the design competition, and she designed that Juno statue that we're all so familiar with, the faces on top of faces.
Yeah.
And that was my first Juno experience, was knowing that this girl in my art class had successfully designed something, and that they still use it to this day. You know what the sad thing is? This is so sad.
Which is not getting royalties?
I remember her name. I do know her name.
See, I'm more hoping she's getting some royalties.
I also hope
pay that bitch.
Some royalties. So do you have a favorite Juno story?
I know nothing of the Junos except for whatever.
Canadian awards. Yeah. It should be good. Now, with Deep Culture, we're going to be examining a lot of different things within the realm of deep culture. We're going to be doing these podcasts, and we're going to be doing a lot of live interview shows. We're going to be doing them here in Hamilton with Steeltown Sessions. I expect that before you know it, we'll be in another city, and another city, and another city. And I cannot wait to launch our first issue of Deep Culture magazine. We have some great themes, too.
We've been writing for so long.
We have, for about a year and a half, we've been writing. And we have articles on academic gatekeeping. And we have articles geared towards like our women's only issue, where we celebrate the divine feminine. We have an issue about a man's issue, where we're talking about men's issues that are can be so very different than women's issues. We're talking about entertainment. Where are they now? We're talking about individual people who we think are pivotal pieces of the Canadian
Canada.
culture. Yeah,
of Canada.
One of my favorite stories that you've put forward was looking at trapper culture in Canada. As a country that was built on trappers and fishermen and hunters, we don't hear a lot about trapper culture anymore, but she's been there. She's been on the front line. She's been
taking the courses.
Understands the assignment. And I was so surprised to discover that trapper culture is alive and well in Canada. And we're in a big city right now.
It's a big part of how we got here, right? And it's heritage.
And paying attention to these stories before they're gone is a big part of what we want to do.
Before those voices sort of wash away with the intentions of, these lies that there's no such thing as Canadian culture.
Right? And if you hear that is a fucking lie. And do not believe it for a second. There is more culture on this street corner in Hamilton. By the way, I'm just going to do a quick plug. It's we're live at the grand opening of Element, and this is the first episode of Steeltown Sessions with me, Cy Williams, featuring my sometimes co-host but co-founder of Deep Culture Magazine, Katie Six. So we have some housekeeping to do before we're done. I'm going to run through and thank our sponsors, our advertisers. It has been a real pleasure finally getting you on camera with me.
Getting my ass out of bed in my car into Hamilton.
I have to say, Katie Six has been Deep Culture Magazine's best kept secret until today.
And I do want to give a shout out to Surface Farms for putting up with us all summer, being so loud and so excited about our ideas and writing for hours upon hours and days upon days without sleep around the campfire, keeping everybody awake. So if you're looking for some fresh local honey, Surface Farms is really a great place to go.
It really is. Surface Farms is my home away from home when I'm in Ontario.
Huge advocates of music.
And it's funny enough, we're having Mr. Harry White on the show.
Oh, the White Noise.
That's right, to talk about his initiative with the Lyric Theater, the old CHCH building here in Hamilton. And he's got this Keep Live Alive campaign going, because he believes in live music so much.
He's put his heart and soul and wallet.
Heart, soul, wallet, mind, some of his best years, but he's got 10 years on me, and he can still outdo me on a whole bunch of things. But we will definitely be having this Harry White back on our show. I want to get him to bring a stand-up bass. It'd be kind of fun. Now, this is the first the first and the only episode of Steel Town Sessions that we will not have a musician. Grand opening going on. We have a big DJ coming on at 2:30. But every show after this, we're going to have some of the most amazing musicians, and musical voices.
And sometimes some shitty ones, but it's all
gonna be
Canadian.
Wait till I bring my harmonica. Oh,
Wait till I bring my giraffe.
Oh, she can play a mean giraffe. Yeah. Okay, just say. Okay, thank you, Katie.
Yeah,
I
me
will
too.
see you on the other side.
Bye, Bestie.
Bye. Okay, and that was Katie Six joining us.
Regrettably, Katie Six and Vanessa wandered off wearing their microphones. Their conversation that happened off camera will stay off camera. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time on Steel Town Sessions.
Ooh, we got more stops. This one's heavy. Almost there. Push it up.